All right, so we are playing the next half of the Legend of the Five Rings, Tomb of Ichiban. Our characters have been gathered up by the Hida Bushi and are being led to a garrison closer to the wall, closer to Crabland's main hub. What are your guys' current... well, I'll give you back all your void. Everything is back, but what are your wounds? Your wounds are not back fully unless you're healed. What do you say?
I'm at 20.
Okay.
What did Yoko's stuff do to me?
You're back. You're healed up.
Completely?
Yep. And it's going to be 180 miles to get to the garrison. So during that time, I will allow a medicine roll.
Oh, crap. I'm going to walk with you guys for a second. I forgot to grab a pencil.
No worries. So during the week or so it takes, almost 2, to get to the garrison, Tomo, you can be healed.
Okay. Well, yeah,
And
go ahead. You heal your heal rate per day of rest, correct?
Oh, excuse me. You heal up to your stamina or your earth, I believe, per day.
The reason I ask that is because you get your rate of wound heal, and then it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm gonna get back to full.
You guys are not getting. You'll be back to full, but when this event occurs,
that's fine. I was just curious on how it's been a while since.
You need full rest and bed rest, and you guys are
okay to get your full one. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I just couldn't remember.
But the Kuni is healing and performing medicine every day, doing the best that he can. And as you guys are cresting the hills, coming into the valley where the garrison is, you see a centipede-like creature, probably the size of a subway car, connected about 3 long. Physically, it appears not like a subway car. Think of more like a hermit crab. Its body is protected by a dome-like shell, which covers most of its body and all its vital internal organs. And you see this hermit crab. Think of Moana, the hermit crab, but instead of purple and shiny and gold on its back, it's got ichor, and it drips tar, and its eyes are glowing red as it's attacking this garrison. The garrison, again, think of the castles you see in the L5R books and stuff, and it's got about battlements around it, and it's got 3 or 4 buildings inside, and this hermit crab, this tainted Oni, is attacking it, and you see several guardsmen that are down. You think on just a clear inspection, as your escort is hauling ass in, they leave you behind to do what you wish, but they're hauling in to help their people. Probably 20 or 25 people have been killed as the other samurai of the crab clan are battling this hermit, this crab, this Oni. What are your first reactions? And we will go to you, Tomo, since I started with you.
I'm going to turn towards Sepun, and I'm going to advise him to be patient and cautious when approaching this, because the last thing we need is rashness. And then I'm going to slowly begin walking towards it, because at this point we need to deal with this problem. We can't pretend we don't see this.
Your turn, Hida, as you guys are cresting down, and your guards, your escort is rushing off to face this creature.
Am I on a horse or am I walking?
You're on a horse.
I'm going to jump off. Unfortunately, both my sacred weapons destroyed, and my topaz armor cut to smithereens. I will fucking go in with my kimono and my wakizashi.
Sounds good.
Sorry about that latter problem there. That might be my fault.
It's okay. I'm alive.
As you rush down, you will have plenty of opportunity to grab weapons on your way down from the dead guardsmen, making your way closer to this creature. The fields and stuff that it kind of crushed on its way to this garrison, it's killed, again, 20 or so guardsmen. The only thing you can't get on in time is armor. But if you want a Tetsubo, you want a Naginata, you want a Nodachi, there are no sabers, so you won't get your saber. Your broken one is at your hip. You could still draw that if you wish, but again, it's got a circle where your neck, where it was embedded in your neck.
Shit. I'll grab
But it's still whole. It's still whole.
Okay, you said there's a Tetsubo, right?
Yep, you can grab a Tetsubo on your way.
Yeah, I'll fucking sheath my Wakizashi then and let out an exhale of relief, and I'll grab a Tetsubo.
Okay, so the crab is heading down. What are you doing, Otomo?
How close are we to the crab? Just curious.
You're probably a good 3 rounds before you can get to where the crab is clawing and breaking down the battlements to get towards the garrison.
No, not that crab. I'm talking about the actual defenders. Are they actually inside the walls?
They're outside the walls. The crab is thinking Godzilla attacking a fence kind of thing. And so this crab-like creature is attacking the fence, and the samurai are outside and inside and along the destroyed battlements.
Am I close enough to shout something to the crab warriors, the defenders?
If you guys if you're making your way down, time will pass, and you'll see some action happen at the wall as you make your way down.
Yeah, I want to get close enough to shout something to them.
Okay.
And what would I need to roll if I wanted to make an encouragement to them?
Encouragement. That would be a good idea to bring up the GM screen, wouldn't it?
The idea is that I'm going to shout for them to never surrender in the name of the Emperor, and to defend this land from the Unspoken One. Try to see if I can give them, basically, mechanically, normally would give them bonuses. But...
Okay. That's not it. You can give me a performance.
I have storytelling. Would that apply here, or
what's that?
I have storytelling.
That'll work.
Okay.
You can use storytelling awareness.
If he fails, can you have one of them shout at him, "Cool story, bro"?
Cool story.
I'm not gonna fail on this one, dude. I got a 33. I rolled 2 9s and an 8 and a 7.
They take heart, but they are really busy duking it out with this creature.
Well, that was the whole point. I knew they were going to be busy, but I wanted to make sure that they knew that the Emperor is with them, basically.
They seem to have taken to heart what you're telling them.
Yep.
And they are fighting on. Very good. Excuse me. Okay. So we will do initiative now as you guys have made it there. Let me know how close are you getting involved, Hida? And then how close are you, Otomo?
You said it's attacking a wall, correct? Like
it's attacking a wall, and the defenders as they coming up, looks like they've got Yari, Naginata, they're shooting at it. Some are just beating on it with their Tetsubo and their katanas.
My question would be, let me finish this real quick. How tall is the wall?
The wall is about 15 feet tall, and the creature is like Attack on Titan is as tall, and it's got claws smashing it as it's bashing other defenders.
Does it look like okay, so 2 questions would dictate this. The first one, if I get on top of that wall, do I think I could jump on its back?
Yes.
Okay, and the second question is the way it's using its pincers or whatever. Does it look like it could use a pincer to bite its own back?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna get up on that wall then.
Okay, so that'll be your action when you roll your initiative. What are you gonna do, Tomo, as you're making your way closer?
I am actually going to give final instructions to Sepun on what should be expected here. No, that's kind of a weird thing to do to him. I'm going to try to encourage him. I'm going to use my second ability here, which is the Voice of the Emperor. I'm actually going to make this a command. But give me a second to remember exactly how that works. Yeah, I know I'm a command to move a higher station, but so it is, I need to make intimidation control versus willpower versus his etiquette courtesy willpower. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to command him to kill this thing in the name of the Emperor.
Okay, go ahead and make your roll. When it's your turn, roll inish for this.
Oh, I've already got that. So
So, what are the initiatives? Anybody above 25?
I'm at 36.
I'm at 49.
Okay, so it'll go crab, imperial
Really?
enemies, and Sepin is last.
Get down, cat. Sorry, my cat was climbing all over my face, literally.
Okay. Can I climb the outside of the wall?
Yes,
Are there like? Okay, I'm gonna try it. What's my check here?
it would be an athletics check. You can do strength to go quickly or stamina to do steadily.
Strength to go quickly for sure.
Okay. Before you roll, it's going to be a target number of 25. If you call raises, you'll be able to do more as part of this climb. So if you get to 25, you'll be up there quickly. If you call raises, you can continue the action. If you're going to just climb like a monkey and then jet across and leap onto his back, then that would be raises. It would be 2 raises to do so.
What would it take for me to climb like a monkey and when I get to the top, draw my wakizashi in my other hand and jump onto his back?
3 total.
All right, let's do it. So that would be a 40 that I need.
30, 40, yes.
Okay. 1, 3. Okay. 2 explosions. It's at 18. Ooh, an 18. So 36. 46. 49.
49. Let me look. Yes, you successfully do it. Go ahead and describe your magnificent actions.
So, I guess aesthetically, think of like the old Prince of Persia games, or like the Assassin's Creed games, maybe for something newer. Like I'm gonna grab onto like a little spiky outcropping and use it to swing myself up and grab another one. And I'm gonna do several bounds of that until I get up on the top. I'll rise and like look over my shoulder at the crab and draw my wakizashi, and then kind of like jump quartered away from it and try to land on its back with a yell. I'll scream too when I do it.
Nice. So you are on its back. You are there. That's when you realize that as you step on it, you're kind of just in your rundown kimono. You're kind of bare most places because they ripped out your footings. They ripped out all your stuff to get you here. So you're kind of Samurai Jack after he's got his ass handed to him, but you're fresh and clean. It's just that you have no real clothing, armor, or whatnot. And as you step on the back of this creature, it's warm, very warm to your feet, to your hand as you kind of balance yourself and pressed off of it so you can stand upon its back. It raises its neck around and can see you, but it can't turn all the way to face you. That's when you realize that there is flame dangling in its teeth and it's down its throat, that it has a possible breath weapon.
Ooh.
And it has, it looks like it has lava or whatnot, heated either saliva or actual lava coming out of its teeth and maw, dripping down. That's when you realize now for the first time as you're looking into the garrison, it spewed some kind of attack. Think of magma just spewed inside. One of the buildings is collapsing as it has happened. But you were on its back. You think it cannot get you with that breath attack nor its claws, but it could roll on you or try to. It is now your turn, Otomo, as you see what this brave Hida has done.
Okay, so I'm still going to command him. That ability is working a little different than I thought it did. That's actually an ability to stop my enemies. So it's going to be the same concept, but I'm actually going to try to courtier my way through that.
Okay, target number will be 35.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to spend a void to get an extra guy. This shit, I need it. And basically, I'm just going to try to... I'm going to use him like a fucking attack dog, is what I'm doing.
Okay. And no, he has not been totally healed from this encounter, so he is still suffering.
4, 29. Oh, son of a bitch. Really? I miss it just barely. I got a 32.
Okay. He looks at you. He looks at the beast. It's his turn before we start to the enemies in the heat and the crab. But she says, "Of course, Atomo-san, I will do this." And he starts to ride down, but it's not his turn yet. Are you going to move, or are you going to kind of stay on that hillside?
I'm going to stay on the hillside. I don't belong in combat.
Okay, he will go down on his turn. It is the Hita's turn. I will just do group rolls for the groups. You notice that the Hitas are engaged. About 20 of them has engaged this huge creature. They're going after its legs, after the claws. The creature reaches down and swipes about 6 or 7 of them, doing a nice bit of damage. Let's see. 2 turns, 2 claws. Okay. Let's see if he can wipe out some of these guys. 5. Out of the 12, the 2 groups of 6, he knocks out 7. And his eyes turn back to you, Hita, and he can't reach to you. You see a samurai ko come out of the back office. She's got her full-on armor. She is displaying herself, and she's coming forth. And it's going to take her a few rounds to get there. She's got a jaded Tetsubo in her arms as she's rushing forward. Excuse me.
Makes me remember my old jaded Tetsubo.
I know it's painful, but you'll survive. But she can't do her thing. It is now back on top. Your turn, Hita.
Now me just randomly fucking flailing on this thing, I don't think it's gonna do me any good. Can I use some Shadowland? Can I use some Shadowland? Well, I don't know if it'd be Shadowland lore or something else, because I want to kind of inspect it while I'm up there. I want to try to look for something to something that looks like soft or unprotected, something that looks annoying.
Okay, you're gonna look for an opening in its neck, joints, where?
Yeah, I would say somewhere on its neck would probably be the first place I would look. I'm looking for some place where I can take that wakizashi and dig it in real deep and use it as a handle to hold on to.
Okay, you see it just like a hermit crab. It's where the his body is connected to the shell, so you could get right down deep. And if you succeed, you could position it where even if he could blow on his back with his breath weapon of his, he wouldn't be able to get you. But he could possibly squeeze you between the shell and the neck.
Yeah, let's
move his neck. So that would be your best option that you see.
Okay. Yeah, can I do I still have an action? Can I fucking stab it?
Yes, you can.
All right.
I'll give you the free look and you find it.
Okay, so I don't have my Wakizashi stats written down because I never fucking use it. Is Wakizashi 2K1?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. And okay. Ooh, that's a bad roll. I'm gonna use a luck point.
Okay.
I've never seen so many 2s in my life. So reroll those. So 28, 37, 44.
You are stuck in its thing. Go ahead and roll your damage.
All right, I like that. 3 plus 5.
You want to do massive amount of damage.
Oh, well, I didn't do that, but I did okay. I did 16.
You know that half you think that it did not pierce as well as you stick but it is stuck into its neck. It'll give you a handhold as you do your thing.
Okay, so now I'm not going to yell as I do this because I don't want to draw attention to myself any more than I just did.
You realize that you are not at, as this is happening and the others are fighting. Go ahead, Akomo. Or Atomo.
Okay. This is where it gets tough because he's not built for combat. Is there actually a spear nearby?
You can pick one up.
Okay.
There's a Yari that you can pick up if you wish.
That's fine. I'm gonna pick up a Yari and I'm gonna do something incredibly stupid because I'm not actually trained with it. I'm gonna throw the bastard.
Okay, go ahead.
That's gonna be strength, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Untrained strength. Yeah, baby. 9, 12, 14.
It goes nowhere near the target, nor does it acknowledge your presence.
Okay. Well, I really don't know what to do right here. So, and then as a free action, I'm going to scream out an oath to the Emperor and just kind of openly weep a little bit. At this point, that last part's a joke, but God, I don't know what to do with this.
As the two of you are doing, you're dangling on the creature, and Tomo is throwing his spear uselessly. You notice that you are not being helped by crab guardsmen. You're actually in the presence of Imperial guardsmen. And the woman approaching is not a crab, but a is not a crab, but she's actually a Daidoji in Imperial armor in the colors of the Daidoji. She comes out and she's going to smack the creature, and at the same time, Seppen-kun is going to smack. Okay, she hits, and you see one of the front legs kind of wobble a little bit, but it is still moving, but it is rather crushed. And Kuni, or Seppen-kun, from behind does the same with his Tetsubo and misses. It's the creature's turn. The creature, because it was hit, is going to, second round, can use its breath weapon, blows its mouth of steaming acid, lava, whatever your imagination hits, to a group of samurai. It is the equivalent of a high-powered spell of fire that cleanses, the Sekenja spell. And 8 of these Kuni go down in flames. She's burnt a little bit, but she's able to sidestep it some. She will then, the creature will then take a backhand to Seppen-kun, because he was rubbing it and it didn't like to be touched that way. And Seppen-kun is smacked for 44 points of damage, and he goes flying. Woo! Just like the coyote in the Hanna-Barbera cartoons. And as he hits there, he is moving, so you know he's not dead, but he took a massive amount of damage. And he's now back on top. You're weakening it, you're hurting it. It's probably been battling for a little bit. What do you wish to do, Hida? You know that it looks like it's gathering its breath weapon again. And it's getting hotter for you to stand there, so you know you need to do something soon.
This is interesting. Is Atomo within speaking distance of me?
Yes, you could yell out to him.
I'll yell at the Atomo. Atomo, give me the pearl!
I guess I have it now, don't I? We never did decide exactly how all that shook out, did we? But yeah, that's fine. If he yells that at me, Clay, I'm going to go full defense.
Okay.
Well, here's a question. I can't. Could I throw it to him in full defense?
I'll allow it.
Okay, so let me do this real quick. Got to make my defense roll real quick.
What's your TN to be hit with being on top?
I'm already at 30.
Hida.
30 base.
Hida.
My TN is if I'm higher than the person on initiative, my TN is 25.
25 is what you need.
Hang on a second. I'm doing my full defense real quick.
That's to get it towards him, but Hida, if he wishes to take it, will take the rest of this action too. Oh, excuse me.
33 divided in half is 17?
Roughly,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm
That's
at a 47 TN.
Well, I'm not worried about your target number to hit, Kyle. You're trying to hit his to get it in the vicinity.
No, I know what I'm saying. I'm saying for my.
Oh, you're doing your defense.
Okay. My full defense. I'm at a 47. Okay, now 47. I need to do athletics.
That's
for this,
why.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
athletics
I'm
roll
point to get it. That'll give me 4K3, and I have to hit it 25.
You have to hit a 25.
Okay.
I forgot you're doing full defense.
There, Andrew. You're getting this 12, 20, 28.
It is your turn, Andrew. You need to get a 25.
So what I'm rolling to hit it?
To grab it. It's
grab it?
athletics, yeah, 25 athletics. So he threw it where it's at you. You still have to grab it.
Is it athletics strength?
It's going to
Or
be athletics reflex, and it's going to be a 30 because you're holding on to your weapon. You're holding on to the wakizashi buried in the neck of the creature. So how are you going to catch it? Are you going to kind of catch it with your arm, kind of wrap it around, still holding your weapon? Remember, you have your tetsubo in one hand, you have the wakizashi in the other.
No, but
stabbing the creature.
I'm going to drop the tetsubo.
Okay, you drop it. It clings off the body of the creature.
Okay,
Falling
and
down.
I'll use a void point two clay to add a rank to athletics.
Okay. Like K1, sir.
Okay.
And it will explode.
Okay, so I got one explosion. Okay, so I got 36.
You catch it.
Fuck yeah. So I will reach out and snatch that thing while I'm holding on to the wakizashi.
Okay, that's the two of you. The men go and they attack. Okay, they start beating on it, and they are doing something where it's hurting it. It is vulnerable to what's going on. You see the captain, that Daidoji, come up. And she will take a swing at it. And she's high rank. She can actually get 2 attacks. Okay, so what happens is she takes out a leg and it wobbles down. I need you to give me an athletics reflex roll. TN is going to be 25. To hold on to the pearl will be a 30. And to stay on your feet, not fall, will be a 35. So to remain on your feet on the ground or to ride the creature, you need to give me a 35. As the creature's legs bellow, it's still alive, but the creature is going to tumble.
Yeah, I'll fall. I'll try to stay on my feet. I'll do the hardest one. That's a 35.
Yep.
I'll use a second void point.
Very cool. So reflex, athletics.
I got a 38.
38. You remain as the creature falls. Men are out of the way, and you see the other men there as she was directing them to hold off while she brought it down and starting to stab at it and smash it. They are making seafood pate with this thing, but it's still alive. We're now back on. Oh, Seppuku is slowly getting up, kind of like the Hulk as he's gotten smashed into a building, kind of rises up, stretches out his body as you see him giving over to the rage within the one-eyed berserker rage. And next round, he will be charging in on broken bones, legs, and other issues he is suffering. It is your turn, Hida. What do you wish to do? You know the creature is ailing. You see your wakizashi in its neck still. You see it no longer heating up as bad. It looks like it's discharged whatever it was as she had gutted into it or bashed into it. What do you wish to do?
Well,
you have an opening, sir. Or are you going to use the pearl?
Since it looks like it's going down, I won't waste the pearl because if this thing seemed insurmountable, I was going to try to use the pearl. But since it looks like we're doing it damage, I'm going to wait. Do I? So it went down. I'm standing on its back. It's face down. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Can I reach the Tetsubo I dropped?
Yes, you can.
I'll grab that Tetsubo then and pick it up. But instead of attacking it with the Tetsubo, I want to raise it above my head like driving a railroad spike and fucking smack the back of my wakizashi as it's sticking out of its neck.
Target number is 15. Go ahead, raises. You can accumulate raises up to your void ring for damage if you wish.
If it's TN 15, yeah, I'll do 3 raises.
Yep, it is stunned and laying there.
Okay. Okay, I got 45.
for the hit.
Yes, for the hit.
So you'll get. Go ahead. You'll be getting your 3 dice for your raises. You'll also get 2 more because you're going to be bypassing its inside its neck into its wounds and stuff. So you'll actually get 5 extra die.
Okay, but none of those are keep, correct?
It's all rolled. If it goes over 10, then again, remember you're doing
Okay, yeah.
strength plus the 2 from the Wakizashi, the 3 raised, and then 2 more on top of that.
Yeah, 3 are going over in the keep then.
Yep.
So it's taking it
Which
up to
gives you
4.
1 extra kept. Because I think it's every 2 over 10, isn't it?
He's got dice that going directly into it, so it will go directly into kept because you can't keep more.
Roll with it how you want to. I just was trying to remember the actual.
2 dice. No, every 2 die over carries over until you're at 10K. Yes, so it's every 2.
That's what I was saying. I thought it was because you said.
But then it's plus 5. Remember, you're getting. It's going to be whatever it is.
No, I misunderstood something you said. I thought you said it was every die over 10. So,
no, every 2 over is kept die until you get to 10K10. Then it's a plus 5 to. It's a free raise to every die over because you can't keep more than 10.
Yeah, that I knew. I just didn't, for some weird reason, I thought you had said something different.
It could be the way I sound. I'm still sick.
I'm gonna use a luck point.
Very nice.
You can use luck points on damages.
You can use luck on anything to reroll a die.
Anytime you roll a dice.
That's gross. No wonder it's such a good ability. You need to start giving that to characters.
Yeah, you do. Oh, that one double. Oh, I'm gonna do a lot of damage to this thing. That's
at least 30 right there.
Okay, I do 62 damage.
Describe its death. You did way over its death.
What does
it
that
doesn't get any armor?
What does that do to my Wakizashi, though?
You did over 60 points of damage. You are going to bend, if not break, the side of the hilt of your Wakizashi as you jam it all the way through.
I guess
basically you're out of weapons.
I guess this is like some Kurosawa symbolism and stuff, right? Like my bruised samurai soul after all the bad things I've been forced to do.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, but I'll raise the Tetsubo over my head and I will fucking smack it, like I said, driving a railroad spike. I'll hear this like nasty buckling and crunching sound, and like pieces of the hilt of my Wakizashi splinter, and I drive it deep. I drive it so deep that it's almost like lost in the carcass of the thing.
And you hear a cling as your Wakizashi is embedded into the stone ground beneath it. You see that it starts to deflate a little bit where the flesh is. As its inner heat starts to go, you know you've got to get off. And as you kind of step off the creature right next to the Daidoji, it just melts itself and leaves just the shell of its outer shell that was on its back of this Oni, as the corruption and everything takes it and starts to melt. As Seppin comes, he stops his rage, his neck bulging. Think of Bane after he pumps up and he's got all that venom in his system. And then for a moment, he wants to attack you and the woman that's next to you, Otomo that's off to the left. And for just a second, you see his face split into a grin. He's missing teeth. That claw smacked him like in the face and in the chest, and you see that his chest looks a little caved in, but just the adrenaline is keeping him going. He smiles. He gives you a toothless smile. You see the front teeth are boxed out, so it looks like a window on his upper and lower teeth as he smiles at you, and his tongue kind of sticks out cut, and he just falls back like a tree that's been fallen. And the others are rushing. As you guys are surveying the damage, you think probably 100 guardsmen, Imperial guards, were here. There are only less than 30. It has been a massive battle. They've probably been waging battle with this creature for a while before you got in. You see the woman turn. It is a woman, this Daidoji. She nods to you. You know, as you look around, that your escort is dead. Cooney had died, and the other guardsmen that were with you are dead. So she's just looking at you kind of suspiciously.
So we're off the hook for all the blood speaking?
Not necessarily, because this large Oni just arrived damaging stuff, and then you guys show up. And they don't know. You feel that she may not know if you were in their custody or guests of theirs. So she's just waiting. Tetsubu's still out.
I'm going to handle speaking because
Bullshit,
I don't
you are.
trust raging, rampaging roid user Seppan.
Well,
And-
Seppin is unconscious and on his back, and then you've got the Hida standing there in all his glory, heaved chest and stuff. So
Yeah.
you guys can take turns talking. This is all open dialogue to you guys. She's just looking, and her guardsmen are slowly taking notice as well.
Let me at least direct it to you. I'm gonna say to her, I'm going to say, my name is Hida Kampachi, and this is Atomo, and I will point over towards you, Kyle.
Nice. So, Clay, this is probably going to have to be courtier manipulation, which, thank you, merciful Jesus. I don't lose honor for what I'm about to do. I'm going to try to convince her that we had been kidnapped by those crab because they outnumbered us by so many, and that we were prisoners by virtue of them trying to pin crimes on us. You're muted.
So let me get this straight. You want to put the blame on the escort that was riding you in.
If it keeps us from being executed for blood speaking, fuck yes.
So, okay, your story is they were setting you up.
Yes.
And bringing you in. Okay.
And that they captured us by sheer numbers. And that we were injured when they found us.
Okay. What
Basically,
are you going
I'm going to tell them this great story of fighting that lion, or the lion's Yojimbo.
Okay.
It's the best lies are peppered with truth.
So you're saying that the lion magistrate... Okay, give me the story because I'm lost. So
Okay,
go ahead and tell me your story again.
So I'm going to tell her that we fought off that Yojimbo, crazy Yojimbo lady that was apparently a hungry ghost or something.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell her that because I don't really know what she was. And that after the battle, we were severely injured when the crab came across us. And they tried to blame us for all the destruction and death in that village. And so they overpowered us by sheer numbers and were trying to make us scapegoats for all the evil that had been going on.
Okay.
And just want to throw ourselves at the mercy of the imperial court.
Okay, she's standing there. You know that she's Imperial Legion, and this is an Imperial barracks. Looks like a small village that was confiscated and then fortified years and years ago.
Well, let's see what happens when I roll this here, because I get to re-roll ones. Reroll. That's at least 110. 22. 29. 34.
Okay, you look. She looks about. Looks at the ones that you pointed out that were bringing you back. So, let me get this straight, she says. And now you guys know that you're semi-circled around the remaining guardsmen here. And her kind of standing in the middle. Think of her like a buff Asian lady. Not as big as some of the girls of the crab can make. She's not crab, she's a crane. And she says, so, let me get this right. There was a lion magistrate?
And I'm going to tell her again. I'm going to tell her exactly how I remember it. That apparently this was some type of Yojimbo defending this lion that was supposedly possessed by a evil spirit.
Okay. She nods. She turns to you, Hida. Do you have anything to say? She didn't say this. She just turns to you, waiting for you to give your 2 cents or to say something.
So Kyle was placing the blame fully on the names of the Kuni.
Yes, and I'm trying to turn the Daidoji against the crab.
Mm.
I'm playing a Tomo perfectly here, whether or not it works.
I'm going to look at her and say, that's not what happened.
That's right, honorable son of a bitch.
So because he's cleared it out, Tomo, you're going to lose 3 honor.
I don't actually. Well, no, I'll lose 3 clicks. I was going to say, I don't lose honor for trying to turn her against people normally, but no.
No, but for him calling you out,
Yeah.
you're going to lose honor.
Right. No,
now, does she believe him? Who knows? What are you going to say, Hida, as she stares at you? Again, the Tetsubo has not been put away.
I'm going to go for sincerity, but I'm going to start off by saying, despite what I'm about to tell you, do not go hard on him, for we've been comrades on the road for quite some time, and I think he does it to try to spare me the inevitability of what's about to happen.
The guards, at hearing this, the remaining guards that she's got, a full squadron of guards, have kind of now encircled you, unless you willingly try to escape, but they are encircling you.
Nope, I will not. I'm going to say...
She's still waiting for what you're saying.
All right, I'm going to say there was the lion and there was the Yojimbo, like was said. We got into a brawl with the Yojimbo, all-out combat. It went very poorly. In the process, something happened to me. I enraged. I managed to disembody the Yojimbo, turn and attack the Seppun, at which point I attempted to take my own life with a katana to spare my comrades from whatever evil enchantment I had been placed under. I collapsed. The next when I awoke, I saw my Yojimbo kneeling beside me, and then her disappearing and being blown into ash as she was executed by the Kuni.
Oh, I can turn that into something good. I'm going to interrupt with, it's apparent that your injuries disabled you weren't awake when they first showed.
I'll think about it carefully and say, there is a large gap in my memory.
She kind of nods a little bit and says, it seems that you are taking bedtime stories a little too seriously, my friends. You have 10 seconds to explain why I shouldn't have you slaughtered here as threats to the Empire.
Is Seppun, is his armor still on, I guess?
Nope.
All right, fuck that. I'm going to say no need for 10 seconds. I'm Hida Kasada's son, and if you do anything to me, he knows where I'm at, and there will be retribution, emperor or not.
Actually, that's not a bad threat, because I could make a similar threat, but I'm operating as a voice of the emperor representing imperial interest in this investigation.
And what investigation is this? You told me the story of a lion magistrate and our bodyguard.
At that point, I want to do this with some panache clay. Do you want a storytelling roll on that?
You could give me a storytelling roll if you wish. But she right now, as she's locked up and doesn't believe you, you know your earlier ability did not failed against her.
Oh dear God! But just do the perform skills function as a emphasis? How does that work?
Yes, they do.
Okay,
depending on what you chose.
Okay, I got
oratory, storytelling, whatever you chose for it.
21, 25. I got a 28. So I start telling them this story from the beginning about, I can't remember the name of the City of Lies, but being in the City of Lies, being called to the house of the Scorpion leader of the city, he being tasked with going to investigate the death of the Isawa, finding out that there was some blood speaking going on there, and from beginning to end up to where we fought the Yojimbo. Only leaving out things like the tome of the blood speaker and things that we found. Things that could incriminate us.
She's still looking at you, Hida. And she says this: your father, if you are who you say you are, will forgive me if you are a raging creature that has been tainted by the darkness.
And I will say, Casado would never believe that his son would fall to such darkness without seeing it with his own eyes. Perhaps we should go meet him.
No, Casada-san, you will not. You see, it's nice if you are an Otomo, and she looks because you guys are dirty and splattered. The Otomo doesn't have his shit. You don't have your stuff.
I do have a 10 glory.
That is true. You do have a 10 glory.
Me, on the other hand, I have a 0.7.
And I'm going to say to her, I'm going to say, I appreciate what you're doing here, but do not play coy with me. You know exactly who I am. It's not a matter of if I am Casada's son. You know I'm Casada's son.
Yes, I do recognize you, Hida-san. What is the crab's emphasis on Bushido? Duty, is it not? I have been charged a duty. And it has been opened up. And to fulfill my duty, I have an option. What is it that you're doing here?
And what is Shinsei's perfection of the crab? Yes, what is Shinsei's perfection of the crab? It's protection. Who exactly is interest are you protecting? Your own?
She turns to you and says, if I did not believe you to be samurai... Or no, she doesn't say that. She says, she looks like she's ready to draw her sword on you. Not the Tetsubo on her arms, but her sword. I follow the word of the emperor himself, and am charged a duty much like your own. And if what your friend is saying, then our duties are related, and my duty trumps yours by not allowing you to fulfill that final request, if that is your said duty. But I do not know your friend. Reputation.
What did he say? What did he say our final task was?
Basically, Kyle, if I understood, said everything.
I can't even keep his lies straight. What was he saying?
No, the last part that I told her wasn't a lie. I told her exactly what had happened from the time I went to the City of Lies, was called into that meeting.
Did you mention
to where we fought the Yojimbo, only leaving out the parts that could implicate us as Mahusuka. I can't say.
So you brought up the Tomb of Ichiban.
Yes, I do mention the Tomb of Ichiban because Akuni is the one who told us about it. So it would implicate the Kuni, not us. All we're implicated in is looking for it so we could destroy the damn thing.
You see she yells out Bark's orders to stand back 30 feet. You see the 25 that she has here obey her orders without question. You see that kind of response on the wall, Hida.
To stand back? Like, are they standing down, or are they giving us...
They're standing back so that they can't hear what's being said, so they can't hear or observe or listen, or there's no breach of honor for what she says or what you say. But they've moved back. They're still in arrow distance. They could shoot you, but they've moved back. She'll walk up the final few steps to you, Hida, and Otomo, and say, She's just looking at everything else. And she does nudge you. Will you allow her to touch you with her Tetsubo?
I'm more than welcome to. I haven't been tainted.
To touch me?
You, Hida.
Yeah, she can touch me with it.
Nothing happens.
If she touches me, I allow it. And if she touches me with it, I'm going to encourage her to touch what's his nuts with it too.
Who?
Sepin, while he's down.
She's not going to leave. He's like 20 feet away.
I thought he was. Oh, that's right. He got knocked way around, didn't he?
And he charged up, and once Hida killed the thing, he kind of smiled, grinned, and passed out.
Yeah, never mind. I'm sorry. I thought he got closer than that, but okay. Never mind. I still would encourage her that she can go touch him, but she's just not going to do it.
The duty that I have and what this garrison is the protection of the tomb. Myself and the man, and she looks over and she's pointing towards the Kuni that you blamed.
Not me, not me, not me, not me.
She's looking at the Otomo and she says this. The Kuni that you blamed, saying he was corrupted or forcing you to do something, were the only ones to know its location and its protection, under word of the Emperor. I would have killed you, Hida, if I believed you were not who you were. So, in order to do this, I will be escorting you to the tomb. But know this. We will see what happens, but I will be taking you there. She turns to you, Atomo, and says, depending on this duty and if you should survive, you and I, sir, will be having words. And she kind of just clinks, and your eyes are drawn to her hip, and her katana kind of jumped out a little bit. And she turns back to you, Hida. What were you going to say? You could say something.
I'm going to say, if that's your wish, those Kuni that are dead over there, they were bringing us back here for you to pass some kind of judgment on us. They suspected us of being Mahu Sukai users. I'm not, but it's important that you understand that.
Their job is to bring anybody. And if what you're telling me is true, you walked away from a village that is overwhelmed with pain, something from the nightmares of the Shadowlands. Yes, even if you are pure, as you say, as you've passed, I would have brought you forward to my commander if I had one. But since I am the commander here, I am Daidoji Michiko. I am the Imperial commander here. And as she says that, you know her station is probably a 5 or a 6, just for your rank wise. She does outrank you.
She's got a couple on me.
I will escort you the rest of the way. I'll let my men know this, and they will begin repairs here. This village has been here for a while. We've always increased its battlements for the last hundreds of years. It is not well known. It is a secret, an imperial secret that you will take with you if you should survive. But let us go and see if the gates have been opened. If you are saying the masks are in play, they are the keys to open the gates of the tomb. You should delay.
Since she's giving us so much of this, I'm going to say, wait, there is one other thing.
She stops as she was expecting you to follow. She made her way back into camp. You know, she's kind of, as she did that, she's giving a hand gesture, but as you tell her to kind of wait, she stops. And the guards kind of were walking away have stopped as well.
I'm going to say, I was going to give this directly to a Kuni or to Kasada, maybe even himself to dispose of or to decide what to do with. But because I find myself in this situation, I feel obligated to return this or to give this to you. I don't know where it came from. And I'll pull out the scroll of Ichiban.
She kind of reaches back for a minute as it goes. You've already read all the information to have it, yeah?
Yep.
It's not a scroll of Ichiban. It's the history of the Mahu Sukai. So you don't, but you give that to him, and it's long. She'll take it. Thank you. She summons one of her guards over, and you see it's probably a lieutenant of hers. I have an errand to run, Jubi, with these samurai. If I do not return within 3 hours, seal the valley and hunt these people down. Hike! He snaps to, and she continues walking. What do you guys do?
I guess I'll pick
the
up.
first thing I should do is make sure that they get Sepun out of the middle of the street and get him cared for.
As they approach, they sound like your dog or whoever's snoring in the background.
Yeah,
he is passed out, and they bring him in. They drag him, actually. They don't bring him in nicely. They kind of drag him by his
I don't like the guy,
body.
remember?
But she's walking towards probably the main building, probably her office and where she stays.
I'll lament the fact. I'll pick up my my Tetsubo and my damaged Wakizashi. And I'll lament the fact to Atomo that the Sepun will not be able to join us.
I look at him, and privately, I can only think, thank God he was out cold while I was trying to lie our way out of that. Because that could have been even worse.
As you guys and they bring him in, you notice at her office, it looks like an armory. You see a large supply of jade, both powdered form, carved form, and fingers of jade. It looks like a stockhouse. Think of John Wick's armory down in his basement when he cracks open everything. This is what you see here. She says, gather up what you need. Apparently you do not come supplied. And she looks at, none of you are wearing armor. None of you are wearing kimonos.
I am wearing armor.
Oh, you do have armor?
Yeah, I have light armor. Does she have heavier armor available?
She's got a full stockpile. It's going to
I
take
need
you
to
a
get
few
the
hours to
heaviest
get
armor I
armored
can
up.
wear.
You could get heavy armor.
Which, that is plus what to toughness to hit? Plus 15?
I'd have to double check. Yeah,
Heavy's 10, I believe.
10 is it, but you got resistance. You'll have 5 resistance.
Okay.
I will tell the Daidoji that I lament the fact that my topaz armor was damaged during the battle with that Oni, and my Tetsubo, which was jade studded, was also damaged battling an Oni in the City of Lies.
I wouldn't want the Great Bear Sudden to go into a den of taint without being prepared. And she kind of pushes the Soji screen over, and you see a wall just lined with jade Tetsubos, about 5 of them.
I'll bow and say, "Arigato."
So you are able to get damn near any weapon you want. Jade. The only jade weapon is the Tetsubo.
I'm just going to get a katana because I need a bigger weapon. Katana Katana's a 2K2 weapon. Is that right?
A katana is a 3K2.
3K2. Sorry. Because all I am currently carrying is the Wakabashi.
But there's Yumi. There's all kinds of things here. Yuri's. You're able to get what you need. Armor, if you want armor. Plain kimonos.
Yeah, I'll get some heavy armor, and I'll get the Jade Tetsubo, and I'll also, if she's got fingers of Jade that she's willing to give us, I'll take a couple fingers of Jade too.
She'll give you 3 apiece.
3 fingers of Jade. That's a total of 9 uses, right?
3, yeah. 3 apiece. She says, time is of the essence. If what you say is true, then this individual and his ilk have gotten past. And that Oni that we faced earlier is just a distraction. You don't have time to clean yourselves or perform the proper rites. May the fortunes bless you and keep you going. She kind of gives you the testicle spectacles watch sign, and she gets horses prepared for you guys to move out.
I will, as she's getting the horses prepared, I will say, Daidoji, I do plan on solving this problem in the tomb.
She nods. Let us go. You guys are all decked out. Sepin does not wake up. She passes by. They brought him in and kind of just thrown him on the ground. He's not undelicately, but they just put him in until his story can be confirmed. His chest is kind of crushed. She stops and says, I'm surprised he's still alive.
I'm going to look at the guys that have brought him in and ask them very politely to try not to kill him, because it would make a very awkward letter home.
Our last healers are dead. If he survives, he survives. We could field dress him for now. Hopefully that is enough.
I didn't say he couldn't die. I asked them not to kill him.
He was trained by Casada personally. He holds the highest rank of our school. He's made of the mountain.
They nod. And you guys are escorted out. Yashishi takes you further into these rolling hills. And you guys come across a plantation. You see signs of Eugen's trail ending in the bush, this overgrown plantation. It's probably hasn't been someone here in years. You see a tangle of briar plants, bushes, and stunned trees. It's unblemished by signs of his passing, but you know that he went inside. Again, there's no signs of his passing, but his trail ends here.
Would it have been possible for that lion chick to have gotten here well before us?
Yes.
Okay, I thought it would. Yeah, that's not good.
As her fucking head disembodied and she went, wee!
I can't remember what those damn spirits are called, but they're creepy as fuck.
Michiko is just waiting for you guys.
Yeah, I will go up to her.
She waits.
She got the door open for us to go in.
Door isn't open. You guys are in the bush. This is like this place is just overcome, like 500 years of people not doing anything. It's kind of overgrown. And as you step up to her, he says, "It's just beyond there. But it's going to take us quite a bit of time to thrash our way through, 100 yards or so." We won't reach there until about twilight.
I want to how long did it take us to get here?
Couple hours.
Can I during that time have folded a piece of paper into a crab?
Can.
I'll give the Daidoji a piece of paper folded into a crab, and I'll say, "Here you go, a parting gift."
Daidoji just looks at you guys. I will get to you to the gates. It's going to take us some time. But she wants you to, it sounds like she wants you two to enter first.
Well, nothing says death like pushing us into a trap-filled dungeon of blood-speaking evil first.
You guys
Okay.
even haven't made it to the dungeon yet. You got to go through the bramble, this plantation that has been overgrown for 500 years.
I'm gonna say, I would say, okay, noted. Next time I see you, Daidoji, I will bring you a finer gift, and I'll place the crab like on a piece of stone.
Are you going in?
Yeah, I'll smile and then walk in.
You guys are walking through the brambles, cutting your way through, pushing things down. It takes time. And as you reach your goal, shrouded within the shadows, chiseled in the living rock of a craggy hillside, a pair of great stone doors regard you ominously. They mark the final resting place of the most evil man in the history of Rukugan. The temple is built into the hillside, and only the great double doors are accessible. The rest is buried beneath the tons of earth and rubble. The doors stand some 15 feet tall and are adorned with warning and protective prayers all along it in various degrees and at various ages, covering these double doors. The locking mechanism are contained in the quarter faces protruding from the doors. There are 4, 2 in each door, one on top of each other. 2 on one, 2 on the other. The 4 great masks have been placed inside. Michiko's face drops as she kind of comes in as you guys have stopped to observe this. Her face drops open. All harboring doubts of who you are and what you're doing has dropped. The tomb stands open. The 4 porcelain masks are indeed fitted into their place in the door. Again, they had merged earlier, but now have become apart. If they had always been there, it looks as if they have never left. The masks are crying blood, and the chrism tears roll across the stone and porcelain to mingle in the dust below. The ground where they strike steam hisses like water on a hot plate. As you approach, you can see smoke rising from behind the mask. The doors are open, and the tomb is open. You know your prey is inside.
I'll look at the Atomo and I'll say, I know this is a very awkward time to be asking this Atomo, but you any good at martial arts?
I'm gonna pull a Koku, a Koku out of my pocket, and look back at the Hida, and say, "I'll flip a Koku with you to see who goes in first." There's blood tears pulling the bottom of the door in the dust. I'm really not keen on walking into this place.
I'll go in first, Tomo. Problem with 2-man parties though is that there isn't a middle to stand in.
Now, as you guys have entered, you feel shifting and whatnot. And as you look behind, you're in think of a tunnel that's looks like it has been man-made tunnel that goes probably 20 feet into the darkness. There's wall torches that you could grab if you want a light to provide light. You know that some of them are already lit inside, so it gives you a varying level of light. And as you guys are halfway walking towards the far light to go further into the tomb, you hear Michiko say, "As my duty proclaims, after you enter, these doors will be shut, and I will remove the mask, sealing you in. For the good of Rukagun, you must be trapped inside, with Yojin and with whatever's inside. That is the duty I must carry out, Emerald Magistrate." And you notice that she has removed the masks. Now, you have an option. Oh, go ahead.
I'll touch my kimono where I've got the pearl and make sure I still feel it.
It's right there.
Okay, good. And I'll say, well, looks like I'm going to be getting you that nicer gift then. Please take that crab, keep it, give it to your kids one day. Tell them about Hida's son.
And as the doors close and you see in her hand, she's got two of the masks. It looks like she pulled from the bottom two, and the doors are closing. She's in the middle, silhouetted by the moon. She says, I will tell of your honor, and you too." And she stops, turns her head as the doors slowly close. "What was his name?" And that's where we'll end tonight.
Oh, can I say one thing to Atomo?
Yeah, we do the one thing is the camera kind of like pans back at you two.
I'll say, don't worry, Atomo. We'll tell our kids ourselves. And I'll
To which my response is to look at you with that look that says, "I don't believe you," or "I don't really care," because at this point I kind of want to die. I am in way over my head. Like Atomo's